If you look hard enough, the world is full of affordable destinations, and it doesn't really require much effort to unearth them either. No matter which continent, there are always places you can visit on a budget. No destination is ever too expensive if you're savvy with your money and know the tips and tricks of the trade. In this video, we're going to tell you in detail about the top 10 insanely affordable travel destinations. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for notifications. Let's begin. Number 10. Central America. Filled with ancient relics, temples, ruins, and civilizations, Central America is definitely worth seeing. The smaller countries such as Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, etc. are super cheap. You can find a hotel for around $15 per day and meals for just $3. The bus journeys are around the same price and beer is less than $1. If you do visit this region, you can easily get by on $40 a day as a backpacker. Or you could spend $60 a day and live comfortably. Your money really goes far here. Number 9. Cambodia. Cambodia is affordable, beautiful, and full of incredible hospitable locals. You can easily get a private air-conditioned room for $20 and street food costs less than a couple of bucks. Transportation across the country will cost you just $20. Basically, if you spend more than $50 a day here, then you definitely are living large. If you actually are ready to rough it out a little, you can spend a whole month for only $1,000 here. The dorms are very basic but dirt cheap, and the same goes for all of the food and alcohol. Some of the expenses that you should be aware of are things like the 3-day pass to Angkor Wat. This is currently around $60 to purchase. Other costs such as diving trips can add up, so you need to keep this into account. Number 8. Portugal. Contrary to popular belief, not all of Europe is as expensive as the center. Portugal is one of the bargain countries in the region and one of many people's absolute favorites. With beautiful beaches, a reputation of being a wine country, stunning cliffs, jovial locals, and delicious food, it's a dream vacation for sure. All of the historical cities and beautiful natural sights can be seen at bargain prices. Portugal has become a lot more crowded and popular over the years exactly due to these reasons. So we recommend that you avoid popular cities such as Lisbon, which have so many people visiting that it has driven up the prices. Once you get outside of Lisbon, the prices are relatively cheap and the fun is exactly the same. Number 7. Eastern Europe. The far eastern parts of Europe are criminally neglected when it comes to tourism, and frankly, it's a sin. These parts include places such as Ukraine, Romania, Bulgaria, and Moldova, and are some of the cheapest parts of the whole continent. You can practically live like a king here for less than $40 per day. You can get a room for a night in the Ukraine for $8 a night and have a liter of beer for $1.50 in Bulgaria, for example. It costs just a few dollars for transportation, too. Eastern Europe has all the charm and beauty of the West without any of the high prices and crowded streets. Free walking tours through medieval villages, beautiful parks, and mountains await you at every turn. The area is littered with historical sites which aren't popular tourist destinations yet, so they aren't crazily crowded either. Definitely check this region out. Number 6. India. Unless you spend your time in 5-star luxury hotels and resorts, you will find it difficult to spend more than $50 a day in India. This is especially helped out by how strong the dollar has historically been against the Indian rupee. Cheap guest houses, second-class train tickets, and local food will definitely allow you to live for less than $30 per day. India is ideal for a cheap backpacking tour and should definitely be seen. It holds enough diversity and culture as well as incredible food and natural beauty to make it a beloved tourist destination for you. It might take you several trips to actually explore all of India. A good tip for first-time visitors would be to book things yourself if you wish to travel on a budget. Most of the time, bypassing agents and online booking sites is actually helpful. If you walk into a local guest house or restaurant or tour company, you can easily get the same things in person for less than half of the quoted prices online. Number 5. South Korea. Another country that isn't talked about much. It's one of the greatest travel destinations in the world, and the prices easily rival those found in Southeast Asia. The high-tech country and the food is mind-blowing. The countryside is jaw-droppingly beautiful, and the nightlife rivals any major country in the entire world. South Korean currency is weaker than the US dollar by a lot, so it's incredibly hard to mess up your budgets there. Beer costs less than $1. A full-fledged Korean barbecue meal with drinks costs less than $4 per person. The trains are super cheap too. Number 4. Indonesia. Okay, so this one is an unlikely candidate to be on the list, but hear us out here. Indonesia is a vast country, and while parts of it can be extremely elite and expensive, other areas are actually pretty cheap. You just need to be acquainted with the relevant tips and tricks. It mostly depends on one big thing, which is transportation. Intercity traveling can usually be very time-consuming as well as heavy on your wallet. It's the same for travel between one island to another using private boats. In order to save costs, you should prioritize and stick with one or two regions. There's a lot to do and see in Indonesia, and spending more time in one place will definitely let you explore it in a deeper way. On the flip side, food and drinks are cheap throughout the country as well as absolutely packed with flavor. Riding a scooter through the mountains can be done for a cheap cost. Same goes for chasing waterfalls, hammocking by the beach all day, and hiking. Hotels are social, affordable, and plentiful, especially in places like the Gil Islands. Number 3, Vietnam. This is probably the best place in the world for the healthiest and cheapest local street food. You can get a soup with rice noodles and an amazing broth with a whole shank of pork for just $1.50. A cup of strong coffee or a beer bottle is less than $1. As far as transportation is considered, you can easily rent a motorbike for the whole day. This is especially helpful with the tight streets with bustling throngs of people. The bike can cost you anywhere from $8 to $14. It all depends on how well you can haggle. Or you could simply spend the same amount of money on an intercity bus ticket. The choice is yours. Number 2, Thailand. Thailand is perpetually on every traveling on a shoestring budget list. Thailand is incredible and has a tourist trail stretching back decades. Thailand is the heart of all backpacking in Southeast Asia. You can easily get by with a budget between $25 to $30 per day. This is mainly due to the numerous cheap guest houses, food, local transport, and attractions. Even if you wish to spend all your time on the islands and in expensive hotels, you can expect to pay close to $50 a day at max. The north of the island is especially easier on the wallet. As one starts to move south, the costs for living and eating start to double and triple. So a piece of advice would be to stay up north if you're short on time and money. Even in popular places such as Chiang Mai and Pai, one can easily find basic dorms for less than $5. On top of this, we recommend that you try the street food there. Not only will it save a lot of money, it will make your experience much more authentic and savory. Number 1, Fiji. You would think the Pacific Island would be expensive, but Fiji is anything but. While there are many $1,000 a night hotels and resorts in the country, you can manage to avoid them and still have a blast. The pristine beaches, world-class diving facilities, tasty seafood, and friendly locals can all be experienced on the cheap. You can usually find very cheap deals for Fiji Island, as it usually is just a stopover destination. Many backpackers usually take advantage of this, and a small community has developed over time of travelers exploring on the cheap over here. This means cheap guest houses, activities, and transportation easily in areas such as the Yasawa Islands. That's a wrap for our video on the top 10 insanely affordable travel destinations. What do you think? Are any of these in your budget? Which one of these beautiful places will you be going to next? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for videos like this. See you in the next one.